Alright, let's take a look at HTGM. This is a low float, kind of gapping up on, or rather, it gapped up yesterday on some news. Um, Let me just double check this. Yeah, I mean, shares are at 10.8 million. I mean, float's less than that, making a move from essentially 130s to 1.7 now. I mean, we did hit the 2. Let's check it out on the daily, and a bit of a downtrend, so definitely are going to have a good amount of shorts probably in this. I would say we have a good consolidation level at that like 205 level, and then maybe at 173, 175, which we're kind of consolidating now, and that kind of makes sense by looking at the pre-market. We really held that like 170, 175 level, touched the 205, but has really been in that range for the most part. I think we really need to see a break of 2 on the open for this to really get wide open, to really make any more big gains. I mean, then we might see a move up to 230, 235. On the flip side, we don't really have much support anywhere near. I mean, I guess a little bit of a level at like 157, 155, 156, say 157. So this has some decent volume right now. I mean, 5 million pre-market, something crazy. So we'll see what happens on the open. And this thing gapped up during the after hours, so I would imagine that there is going to be some good action on the open, just because of institutional orders and just kind of everything happening outside of normal hours. Let's look at IMAC, another low float. I mean, it just kind of really made the move recently, popped up, so volume's just kind of trickling in. I mean, right now we're only like 3.5 some million shares. Made a huge spike up. This is on positive news, and so kind of are a little bit fading, but also kind of consolidating at that 1.7 level. Let's look at the daily. I mean, we do have support, looks at like 1, another level at like 1.1. I mean, we're pretty well above those right now. I mean, it has been a little bit of a recent downtrend, mostly kind of a sideways consolidation. Really high or really wicking candles, it's kind of common, I guess, for a low float, just because of the volatility of it. We are actually probably looking at, here's a possible point of, I would say just like the 145 range. Got to go far back for any of these levels. 164, that's what we kind of are touching right now, but seem to just be breaking through it down to 145. We did hit 315 just in that single pop, so I mean that's well above any recent highs. I mean, another point of level might be that 205 level, but really from this pre-market we are just popping and fading. We'll see if this thing gets any more volume and attention. It's going to have to reclaim VWAP for really anyone to kind of get interested in. ERYP, this is again a low float, trading up on some news. Actually really fading now, so not as much volume, not as much follow through. We popped up to 2.6, now we're kind of fading at, and maybe consolidating between that, that 180 to 190 level. We'll see if it gets more volume on the open and breaks VWAP, then it might get a move. Otherwise, it looks like it's going to kind of fade down to just previous levels of 165. been in a bit of a sideways consolidation. So we'll see. I mean, levels 186 kind of touched that and kept going down. So it doesn't look to have too much strength. Let's look at NEGG. We looked at this yesterday. It does seem to be holding up fairly well above 8. And so we're kind of consolidating at that 8.4 level. Not much volume though. I think if we see some okay volume, maybe on follow through on the open, if it touches that 8.75, getting closer to 9, then you might see another move up. I mean, on the daily, we really just have room from this essentially this 8.4 to 10 level. The lower volume kind of seems like it might not have much strength. We might see a fade down to, I don't know, back to like a previous level of like 7.25 or something like that. But if it does get volume follow through, it has kind of a intra range of, somewhere between 8.4 to 10, and we saw the spike up to 9